CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Officials with local harm reduction agencies say the pills behind yesterday's rash of downtown overdoses likely contained fentanyl. They say 39 overdoses were reported. Jerry Dewan has more on the response and the efforts to limit the damage.
This was the scene at London Cares just after 1 this afternoon as emergency crews responded to a reported overdose. Social agencies and first responders are accustomed to working quickly and in coordination to limit the impacts of overdose, but their resources were put to the test on Wednesday.
Yesterday, late morning, we were being alerted by community partners that there was an increase in overdoses in community.
Lily Bialis is interim director for London's CarePoint Harm Reduction and Treatment Services. Her agency was alerted to a surge in overdose calls in the downtown, followed quickly by reports that someone was giving people pills for free from their car.
What we had heard was that the substance was yellow in color and that it was having an opioid-like response for people in terms of overdose.
More than a dozen people had to be treated, with reports indicating the pills being distributed likely contained fentanyl. A formal drug advisory was issued based on the information received.
What does the substance look like? What are the effects that it's having for people? And then what is the harm reduction best practice?
Biala says the quick response of police, fire, EMS, social agencies, and members of the public likely limited the impact of the incident and may have saved lives.
It's really concerning, and it just goes to show that there is toxicity in the drug supply. So these drug advisories, harm reduction best practices really supports people in being able to make informed decisions and being able to keep themselves safe.
Biala says the incident also reinforces her agency's core messages when it comes to drug use.
So coming to a facility like ours with supervised consumption is definitely one of the main things that we highlight, as well as testing samples when you're able to. In addition, not using alone, making sure you have naloxone on hand, even staggering use between people as well if using in a group.
London police say their investigation continues as they look to identify the suspect or suspects, including the vehicle involved. They're also trying to confirm the exact nature of the substance being distributed. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Fanshawe College officials have announced 9 more programs are being cut, their latest measure in dealing with a growing deficit. With more on what's hitting the chopping block this time, here's Brian Bicknell.
Fanshawe College says it can no longer afford to maintain programs that operate at a deficit or no longer match student and labor market needs.
We are looking at enrollment demand, we're looking at labor market demand, and we're looking at the financial stability of that program.
The college has announced it's cutting 9 programs effective this September. They include photography advanced, advanced ergonomics, dental assisting, game development advanced, 3 co-op programs, manufacturing engineering tech, software and information testing and tech systems analysis, user experience design, visual effects and editing for contemporary media.
We understand that students who may have expected or anticipated to be participating in these programs will be undoubtedly disappointed, but we're committed to working with each one of those applicants to find other spots for them to land at Fanshawe.
The latest cuts followed 10 program cuts announced late last year and 40 last spring. Fanshawe projects its deficit at more than $54 million by 2027-28. The cuts are due in part to continued decline in international student enrollments. Cluett says there will be no full-time faculty cuts.
These programs that we're suspending do not have impacts with our full-time faculty, so there will not be any full-time faculty impacted by these suspensions.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Several months after the city expropriated the land under a Wellington Road restaurant, the former owner says municipal staff haven't done enough to secure the property from potentially dangerous metal thieves. With more, here's Daryl Newcomb.
Totally removed the compressor and cut out all the copper.
Metal thieves and scavengers are making the closure of Curry's restaurant even more disheartening for longtime owner Pramod Kakedia.
6 out of 7 days in a row, every day we come in, We're broken into a different door, damages everywhere.
Expropriated by City Hall for the bus rapid transit route, Cacadia must be out by the end of the month.
Totally broken up.
But a series of break-ins have required daily work to re-secure entrances from metal thieves who each night are stripping the building of copper pipes, wiring, and anything else of value.
Way down here. Rip right out.
And some of the commercial kitchen equipment he was arranging to sell has already been destroyed.
They damaged everything in the sink, so we can't really sell the sink anymore. They totally ripped apart the walk-in cooler freezer compressors for $20 worth of copper.
And beyond the financial loss, the discovery of 3 large knives shows some of the intruders are dangerous.
You don't know what you're going to run into. So I don't know, we don't want to get into a physical confrontation with somebody. They shouldn't be here.
And it's not just the former Curry's building that's been impacted. You can see indications of metal theft on some of these other commercial buildings that have also been acquired by the city.
The city should know how to deal with. They're dealing with this kind of properties all over the place, not just this one property. And safety and security should be of importance to everyone.
City Hall tells CTV News, quote, "We use a variety of measures to maintain the safety of properties acquired by the city."
They've just ripped it out all the way down to the other end. It's tough enough to move and get emptied and get the building emptied. We just could do with some support. Everything's kind of demolished and gone.
Cacadia says it's an unnecessarily difficult way to end 40 years in business. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A sentencing date has been set for a former Oneida Nation of the Thames band counselor convicted of defrauding her own mother out of her residential school survival settlement. With more, here's Nick Paparella.
It's a shocking case of betrayal after 56-year-old Ursula Dockstader was found guilty of defrauding her own mother out of $150,000. It was a settlement check that the elderly Caroline Dockstader was supposed to receive under a class action settlement for residential school survivors. Instead, when her daughter, who was her power of attorney, got the check in July of 2023, she put it into her own bank account. The court heard most of the money was gone in a matter of 6 weeks, with just a fraction remaining. Justice Kevin McHugh found Dockstader, a former Oneida Nation of the Thames band counselor, guilty of fraud over $5,000 and forgery. The judge said the complainant knew nothing about the $150,000 check that had arrived. He added the accused utilized the funds for her own benefit. To make matters worse, the court heard that during her trial almost a year ago, Dockstader told her mother, a senior who now lives in the United States, that she would be receiving a settlement of only $50,000 from the government, with Justice McHugh saying she misled her mother about the funds. The complainant had no idea of how much money was received. He went on, the defendant engaged in deceit, which led to a corresponding deprivation by the complainant of the said funds, which were rightfully hers. The check in question was one of thousands issued by the Canadian government after a class action lawsuit was filed by residential school survivors. Meanwhile, a sentencing hearing for Ursula Dockstader is now set for April 14th. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
7 social service agencies are now under one roof in Perth County. Yay! There was a ribbon-cutting ceremony today for Listowel's new Access Centre. It's a United Way of Perth Huron initiative. Officials call it a secure location for anyone needing support who may otherwise need to travel to Stratford, where most Perth Huron social agencies are headquartered.
They're really satellite offices for organizations that have their head offices in the major urban centers in our region, for sure. And so it allows us to provide better service. So bringing service to people is incredibly important.
This is the 3rd Access Centre opened by the United Way in Perth and Huron counties. The other 2 are in Exeter and Vanastra. The Ilderton Arena officially reopened today following a major renovation project. The facility has served the community for more than 50 years, and with more on its new upgrades, here's Lawrence DeLone.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Ilderton Arena is celebrating its grand reopening following major facility upgrades.
From what it was to what it is now is night and day.
The province of Ontario announced a $1 million investment back in July to help cover the costs of essential repairs and upgrades to the arena.
Arenas like this across our province have been aging out, and they've been not received a whole lot of love.
The upgrades were supported through Ontario's Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund as part of a $4 million renovation project.
All these communities are applying for it. They need the money. They need that money to get going.
The $1 million came into this property and helped retrofit in many ways the washrooms, making them accessible for the locker rooms and the washrooms. The boards that I'm standing beside are now accessible for anyone who wants to come in and watch.
The event recognizes the completion of renovations that strengthen the arena's role as a central hub for sports, recreation, and community life in Ilderton.
This is a place where people gather and see each other, and it's critical to have amenities like that in our communities. It builds community.
Ilderton Arena opened in 1972 and is famously home to Olympic gold medalists Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer.
You look at the skaters that were out there today that did an amazing job, and all the young skaters that are out there, you know, possibly future gold medalists.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Suncor Energy officials in Sarnia reported a spill into the St. Clair River Wednesday night. A public alert went out just before 8 p.m. for a hydrocarbon sheen observed on the water. Officials say cleanup efforts continued today and the spill was contained at the source. They also state the spill did not move downstream and municipal water was not affected. We're launching a new series here at CTV News London. I'll be sitting down with some of the top decision makers and leaders in our city and the region. It's called Leading London, and my first guest is Mayor Josh Morgan. Have a look.
Mental health and addictions. Are you satisfied with the progress? I know as recently as September, there was a report from City Hall about a 19% increase in the number of Londoners living on the streets right now. In terms of progress, what are you seeing?
Yeah, first off, there's been a 25% increase across the province, 19% in the City of London. And so why have we bucked the trend a little bit, even though we're a fast-growing city? And we, with more population growth than average, you'd expect we'd be higher. Well, we've instituted a number of programs over the last number of years that is actually helping. Now, here's the challenge. It's very difficult to see that.
I was going to ask, do you think Londoners see that progress?
No, I don't. And you can't see it because I'll tell you this. I said this at my State of the City address. In the past 3 years, we have permanently housed, taken people off the street and permanently housed 1,500 people. Those 1,500 people, if you walk downtown or in Old East Village or look in parks or doorways of businesses, you don't see them anymore because they've moved from the streets into stable, permanent housing. But we've seen this flood of homelessness across the province increase. 25% is a significant number. And so although we've helped a lot of people, there's still more people falling into homelessness than not. And often people will say, well, you had, about 1,900 people on the list, now it's over 2,000. They're not the same people on the list. And I think people forget that. So people are going through the system. People are coming off the streets through the programs we set in place, and they're getting into stable housing, but people are also falling into it. That's why the advocacy that we have at the provincial, national levels is really critical, because no one city will solve this issue alone.
For my full interview with Mayor Morgan, you can head to our website, ctvnewslondon.ca. Coming up later, no swan song in Stratford, why officials have canceled the annual parade, welcoming back the birds for the summer. Canada's main stock index was down again as the price of oil rose. The TSX fell 279 points in New York. The Dow lost 739. The Nasdaq dropped 404. The Canadian dollar down 0.16 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold fell more than $53 an ounce. Oil gained almost $8.50 a barrel. Two attacks on American soil today, one at a synagogue in Michigan, the other at a college in Virginia. At this point, the incidents have not been connected, but they are both under investigation as possible acts of terrorism. Joy Malbon reports.
A Michigan synagogue, Temple Israel, now a crime scene after a would-be car bomber tried to ram a vehicle packed with explosives into the synagogue, housing a school and young children.
We are leading the investigation right now as a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community.
Everyone is safe. The armed suspect was in a shootout with synagogue security. After his truck crashed, he was found dead inside his burning vehicle.
This is senseless. It's senseless. We have to be better than this. This is not okay.
This comes after another attack on American soil at Old Dominion University in Virginia. The FBI say a former National Guard member killed one person, injuring two. An act of terror, says the FBI. He had served jail time for trying to help ISIS.
Prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of an FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism.
Since the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran, there's been a rise of anti-Semitism sentiment. The FBI on high alert, concerned the war in Iran has come home.
Obviously, what happens around the world sometimes affects us.
Yesterday, pro-Iranian hackers claimed credit for a cyber attack on Stryker, a Michigan medical technology company. The group claimed it was retaliation for that missile attack on an Iranian school that killed children. Early military reports suggest the U.S. was likely responsible.
This is extremely alarming. We know that Iran's approach to combating the United States and Israel is through asymmetric warfare.
With the rise of violent rhetoric and Iran's new supreme leader vowing vengeance, the FBI has placed counterterrorism teams on high alert across America. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Good evening. I'm meteorologist Gary Archibald for CTV News. Let's take a look at the big picture. North America inundated with two massive systems. The Atlantic coast dealing with snow and freezing rain from the U.S. New England region into the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada. We've gotten into a bit of a break, a few flurries at this hour, turning to significant snow and rain, the combination as the Central Plains system moves into our space in the next 8 to 12 hours. Significant snowfall through the Lake Huron shores due east. I'll break down what you need to know for the City of London and the surrounding locales. It's all coming up shortly here on CTV News.
Welcome back. Meteorologist Gary Archibald is with me tonight. And Gary, we had those lovely balmy spring temperatures earlier this week, but it's going to be a bit of a wintry return for this weekend.
You're right about that, Carlyle. With colder air now in our airspace, it's going to help to provide this necessary component to produce snow. The yield from this next system could be substantial, 10 to maybe 20 centimeters of snowfall in and around the Lake Huron shores, Georgian Bay, the Bruce Peninsula, Tobermory, Waterton, Owen Sound, Shelburne, Mount Forest, our friends in Hanover getting hit hard, Dundalk, all looking at significant snowfall. Meanwhile, obviously, today we enjoyed a bit of a break, a mixture of sun and cloud, a high of 0. That's seasonal. Normally be closer to +1 throughout the region. And we're also noting that the winds are going to pick up. Take a look at the satellite radar imagery just to give you an idea of what's taking place over the last several hours. Massive system riding up the Atlantic coast with snow and rain and a wintry mix, even some freezing rain now right over the heart of Newfoundland. Meanwhile, the Central Plains and southern prairies looking at a rain-snow mix. The snow moving through the state of Minnesota, headed towards us, along with the rain trailing first to start early with snow Friday, midday as things warm up, changing over to a rain-snow mix, and then as things get colder, the sun goes down and temperatures fall, we'll get back into snow. It's a 1, 2, 3 punch of precipitation. Check out the areas hit hardest. Upper Michigan into Manitoulin Island, the Bruce Peninsula could see 20 to 30 centimeters. I think 20 is a good guess, a good estimate for Waterton, Owen Sound towards Mount Forest, Shelburne, as mentioned. 15 centimeters in Kitchener. Right now, the projections holding at 10 to 15 in and around the city of London. The ground is warming up, so I don't think it's going to stick around. 5 to 10 is a real possibility. As mentioned, there will be a component where daytime heating, right? During the day, warmer temperatures will change the yield to a rain-snow mix. That means we're going to see some moisture at the surface, which will then refreeze as temperatures get colder. Speaking of cold, we're looking at a bit of a roller coaster ride. The next 7 days in London will see a high as plus 11, a low as maybe -6 or -7 for daytime highs. Tomorrow's cold enough to see snow through the night, freeze-overs, definitely with surface moisture, and that ice formation could stick around into the weekend, at least for Saturday, before things warm up. Sunday, Monday, rain, and then back to snow as temperatures take a nosedive for Tuesday. I'm concerned about big snow Friday, Saturday, definitely early Saturday. Could see that rain-snow mix, but Friday morning is when we get walloped with the snow through the Huron-Bruce region. Monday, Tuesday, warm, then cold. This is a real dynamic shift in temperatures over a very short period of time. Computer models not enjoying a great consensus. There are so many factors at play. The next 24 hours, though, do watch out for slippery conditions with that rain-snow mix. Carlyle?
Thanks, Gary. City officials in Stratford have canceled this year's annual Swan Parade, citing the birds' welfare. The parade has drawn large crowds in recent years, and as Jeff Pickle reports, that may have been doing more harm than good for the animals.
A big crowd for a short walk. The flock of swans making their way from their winter home back to the Avon River. But this year, the swans will be returning to their summer residence on their own schedule without the pomp and circumstance.
We have that date where we're glued to, that first Sunday in April every year. It's not always the best for the swans because the water levels, the weather, and their mating patterns aren't all lined up.
The city of Stratford says the Swan Parade started as a fun local tradition, but has grown beyond their control, creating a stressful situation for the swans.
The swan release did become a kind of a victim of its own success. It morphed organically, but it got very large.
The mayor says he is on board with the move.
Over the years, it has swollen to a place and has such notoriety where busloads come in. And then we start talking about, is this for the swans or is this for the visitors?
Mayor Martin Ritzma says when it comes to the welfare of the beloved local birds, it was an easy decision.
The issues around the swans, we have to put that first. And that's going to usurp, perhaps some other economic benefits, if I could say it that way.
In the last few years, the parade has drawn hundreds of spectators, but even the local tourism board is flying in formation on this decision.
I love to see things that bring people downtown, but not at the expense of the health of our swans.
Pritchard says the long-term health of the flock is a better investment than a one-day spectacle.
We do need to worry about the swans and what it means to them, rather than saying, how can I promote my business by having the Swan Parade?
This year, the swans will be released on their own schedule and not all at once. The first birds are expected back in the Avon in late March or early April. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Stratford.
The Slopes Report is brought to you by Bowler Mountain. Remarkably warm and even record-setting high temperatures across southern Ontario over the past week have melted away much of the remaining snow base in the region. Bowler Mountain still has 8 of 15 trails and 3 of 4 lifts open. Tubing is closed. Machine-groomed granular is the story at Highlands Nordic. It's cold enough that 23 kilometers of trail are open. The best base measurement is 15 centimeters, and skating is still an option. And Blue Mountain is staying cold enough for for the next several days, and that bodes well for the base. In fact, 85% of the open terrain is accessible. 10 of 11 lifts, 2 of 4 open parks, and 30 of 43 open trails are A-OK. As always, travel safely and enjoy the remains of the season.
Finally tonight, the parents of local astronaut Jeremy Hansen visited his old school in Ingersoll today, getting a first-hand account of what he means to the local community. Sean Irvin reports.
As they anxiously await another chance for their son to become the first non-American ever to leave the Earth's lower orbit, the parents of astronaut Jeremy Hansen took a trip down memory lane. Nancy and Gary Hansen visited the Ingersoll High School where their son attended decades before he was selected to be part of the Artemis II mission to the moon.
It's actually hard to believe. You think, Jeremy's going to be going around that moon, his dream since he was 5.
Before fielding questions, the Hansens were shown display case after display case created in tribute to their son. From old yearbook photos to replicas of his spacecraft, the school is paying homage to their now famous, soon-to-be out-of-this-world graduate. The Artemis Explorers Club, behind most of the effort, was created after Hansen was selected for the mission.
The kids are really, really into this, and it's nice to see that they put so much work into it.
The Hansens rewarded the club with gifts from the Canadian Space Agency. It is a moment the students will cherish as they await the next chance for Hansen and Artemis II to launch.
It'll definitely be a little bit of a flex to say I went to the same school as him.
A key theme of Jeremy Hansen's that his parents shared with students here at his former school is to be dedicated to their dreams and their goals, whether they're found in the stars or just around the corner.
It kind of inspired me to just work harder at what I dream of.
After all, a dream is where Jeremy's path to space began. It is one his parents say he never gave up on.
We all say we're going to be this and that, right? So you don't think anything of it, but it's stuck in his mind.
Really hard to think of my little boy's going to be doing this, but yeah, we're really proud of him. We couldn't be prouder.
The Hansens have been in limited contact with their son as the mission resets, but with each trip to watch a potential launch, the reality of what he's about to do intensifies.
Because this is a very historical mission. We didn't realize really how big it was, but now we're learning more and more. And we're very fortunate, Canada is, to be on. I have a seat on this rocket.
In Ingersoll, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
That launch date still tentatively set for early April. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.